Hey guys, it's me, Kajaya again. I'm here with a video. I was rewatching, of course I'm here with a fucking video, clearly. But I was rewatching an astro hangout I had with two other great astrologers. Um, Carolyn Mayberry had asked the question of what is an inconjunction, also known as a quincunx, and we just told her, that it's planets about 150 degrees from each other, and that's it. We really didn't go into detail about it. And I looked on YouTube and I was like, well, there's no videos on it. And I was like, perfect opportunity for me to do one on it. So this is, just me explaining it a little more. And basically what the in conjunction is, it requires a balance of what you desire against the practical. Finding, a balance between wish fulfillment and responsibilities. It also can be seen as ego imbalance in your chart, a necessity to grow up from immature desires toward maturity, flexibility, and a realistic appraisal of life's circumstances. This aspect in your chart, it's more subjective than in opposition, but more objective than in conjunction. So it's a little difficult to find what's wanted and what's to be learned and why you can't attain it sometimes. You know the saying that you can't have your cake and eat it too? That saying applies to this aspect in your chart because that's exactly what it wants to do. It wants to have its cake and eat it too. It wants to have what it wants without having to change, without having to, compromise on anything. It wants to get what it wants because it wants it. Because, it's like I want $1 million. Why? Because I just want $1 million. Do I have to work for it? Really don't want to work for it. One of the basic meanings of an inconjunction or quincunx is adjustment. On the other hand, it's, another basic meaning of it is a trade-off. A trade-off just requires analysis and, the weighing of needs and wants and the cost of attaining it. Because it's like you want it all, but you can't have it. So you end up having to settle for, what you can attain, a little bit here and a little bit there. So ultimately, that leaves you unsatisfied because you didn't get the whole enchilada, you didn't get the whole kit and caboodle. So this is sort of the aspect of partial success because sometimes you just have to settle for the attainable. This also deals with internal image, self-image, how we see ourselves, how we sort of programmed ourselves to be. If someone sort of comes along and say, I need you to do this, this, and that, and those people that just go, oh no, I can't do that. That's not me. I just can't physically do that, even though they're fully capable of doing it. And when they do it, they sort of program themselves or like sabotage it so that they fail. So in that way, they're able to satisfy and keep in order that internal self-image that they have within themselves. Also, the issue of compromise comes with this, like I said before, because compromise means flexibility and having an open mind, which just doesn't happen with this aspect. However, this also can go the other way. Someone can be like a slave and just always compromise, even on little things. They never assert their will, they never voice their opinion, they just feel compelled by something to just be like everyone's doormat, to pick up everyone's responsibility. Like they have to do it because no one else will do it. And, they just ultimately leads to just bitterness, to anger, just, you know, just being pissed all the time because they just feel compelled, like they can never say no. And people know that and they take advantage of that. The inconjunction or the quincunx is really just this big neurotic aspect. It involves complaining, dissatisfaction, frustration, and sometimes, even ill health. It can show where you just refuse to accept reality, where, it can create someone who's just extremely stubborn or someone who's extremely complacent. Basically just a bunch of frustration. Acceptance is a big issue with this, and basically the person do anything to prove themselves or to integrate with others, and that just throws real relationships out the window. And you just try to gain acceptance and approval in a very self-destructive way. It's not healthy. Like I said, you can either be extremely stubborn or try to gain acceptance and just like fit in with people by being really complacent. There's no balance. If this aspect is like an abundance in your chart, you can really, or like an aspect to your sun or your moon or your Mercury, you really can just beat up on yourself. You get pissed about your life, and you start to, compare yourself to others and just feel bitter about the sacrifices you had to make just to get people to love you. And you look around and you're like, how did everyone just make this so? How does everyone make it, look so easy, getting people to like them? And you feel like people can't love you and accept you truly for who you are because it'll all be fake. Because, like I said, it's continuous complacent. You're continuous being complacent, and you're not asserting yourself. So you're really not showing who you are. So you're like, how can anyone like me when I'm not even being me? But ultimately, you can you know take the pressure produced take the pressure off produced by this aspect through understanding and compromise, sharing and giving, keeping the balance. You win the respect of others when you're able to serve yourself, not in a very selfish way, but focus on your goals and focus on what you want to accomplish. And that's how you basically win the respect of others, win their approval that you just so desperately seek. And this is where I'm going to cut the video. It's over. We're done. Um, so that is your Inconjunction. That is your Quincunx. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe. I hope you got something out of it. Now, there's, oh my god, but there's 12 planets. And they can, this aspect can happen it can hundreds of thousands of times. And this aspect can be different in each and every chart. That's what I was trying to say. You can have your moon aspecting Neptune or Uranus, and being in conjunct with that. So there are hundreds of thousands different interpretations for each and every aspect. So that's just you having to dig into your own chart. But this was just a basic um, interpretation of the Inconjunction, the Quincunx. I keep messing up because I want to say Inconjunct, or I don't know if I want to say Inconjunction. And then you got Quincunx.